Welcome to Introduction to JavaScript in the Web Viewer in FileMaker Pro. I'm Paul, and this is Productive Computing. This is part 2 of a multi-part series where we come back and revisited each installment. We started with a website that used JavaScript that did what we wanted, and we made small changes to make it work with our FileMaker data and to work in a web viewer. This video series is intended for people with little to no HTML experience, and it's our intent that this gets your feet wet and gets you a little more familiar working with JavaScript in FileMaker. So this is where we left off at the end of part 1. We had succeeded in comparing two fields so that when we make a change, the difference is updated automatically using JavaScript. And we did this basically by mimicking the user. We use substitution to put our field values into the HTML, and then we used an onload event to bypass the submit button. And then we use CSS in the form to hide the form. But we're going to get rid of this style attribute because we want to see the form. And now we can see here's our two values that are being entered. Our goal now is to eliminate the HTML and substitute our field values directly into the JavaScript. Now to do that, I'm going to use more advanced text editor for code. And you can download it here at atom.io. This is an open source code editor that works on all major operating systems. It also integrates nicely with Git, and it has a lot of extra features. We're not going to touch any of those today, but they're available to you. Now, I've already installed and loaded Atom, and I'm going to open it up. When you get it, you might have some other windows. Just go ahead and close them. I'm going to use Command N, make a new document. I'm going to jump back into my FileMaker. I'm going to highlight my HTML. Select all and copy. I'm going to jump back into Atom and paste. Now you notice it's all white, just like a normal text editor. Well, that's because this isn't saved. Once we save it, we'll call it diff.html because it's an HTML document. Now Atom knows what it is and it can color code it. Now hopefully this is becoming somewhat familiar to you from our previous video, but we basically have two major sections. Our JavaScript area right here, and we have our HTML, which in a previous video we eliminated everything except for the form, and then we hid the form. But today we want to get rid of the HTML altogether. So this is our text one, and if you remember, that is because we set these here in our calculation field. That's substituting these strings for our FileMaker text fields. We locate that, and that was putting it into this input element. And over here, we see that it is ID text1. So I'm just going to copy that and do a quick find out where else this text1 is referenced. Inside of the document, get element by ID, text1, and put its value in here. So what this statement is saying is set this value to whatever the user put into that form element. So we can just bypass this altogether by removing it, putting in a set of quotes, and we'll put in our substitution string, text1. But before we replace this, let's discuss this method right here. So what this is going to do is going to call the document, which is the DOM. So DOM stands for Document Object Model. And if you need something to compare that to, if we're in FileMaker and we go into layout mode and we open up the Objects tab, and it shows us everything that's on this layout, right? Like if I highlight this, it's showing me that. The DOM could be considered like the layout in FileMaker. And the ID that we see is if I were to name this, let's just say we name this JS. Well, now I can access this object on this layout because it has a name. That's the same thing that's happening when we give an element an ID. Within this DOM, so within this like layout, get element by ID, so we're calling it by its name, and put the value in. And instead of doing any of that, we're gonna just bypass it. We select all and we copy and we jump back over into FileMaker. We select all and we paste, and we are still getting the same results even though we're no longer referencing the form. So we can jump into Atom and we can just get rid of this entire table and it will continue to work. So let's move down to the next object. So this element has an ID of timeout and a value of 1. So we're going to do a quick find and we're going to just replace this entire, and because it's a number we don't need quotes, so we'll just put a 1 in there. And then we can do it the opposite direction. Let's find this edit cost. And there we go, that's our form element and its value is 4. We can replace that with the number 4. In our FileMaker, if we look at the form, so we've replaced this one, we've replaced this one, and we replaced this one. That was the timeout. And then the edit cost was this 4, which now that I see here is part of this radio button, which means we probably don't need it at all anyways. So let's jump into Atom. We're going to look at this because radio buttons are performed a little bit differently. Not a little bit, a lot differently than in FileMaker. So this is a DL here, which is a detail list. And then we have a detail item. And then things go inside of it. And then it ends right here. And it has a label. And that's how this whole thing is arranged. But if we go up and we look at the JavaScript code, this whole section here is dealing with this. We have 3 options, but we only have 2 if statements. And it's basically if get element ID semantic is checked. And then down here we have ID efficiency. And it's basically checking to see if they're checked. And if they are, it's doing something. If they're not, it's skipping over. And the third option, if we notice, is don't do anything. So we don't have an if statement for that. So we're going to leave it on the default, which means we can just get rid of this whole thing altogether. And we also don't need to check because we're not giving the option. So we can really just get rid of the if statement and leave it like this. Now remember in the previous video, there was a section down here that we got rid of, right here, where it was doing some math to figure out how long this took to run. Well, we're no longer doing that at all, so we don't need those variables either. We can get rid of those. And we can tighten this up a little bit. Now we don't need the form section at all. So let's just go to the beginning of the form element, all the way to the bottom of the form element. And we could eliminate this further, but this is fine. We'll leave this div in. That's where our results will display. And let's highlight all and go into our FileMaker and paste. Now it's not really that simple because we have a problem we have to solve. If we go back, now it's broken. The reason this breaks is because we need to escape out these quotations. And we can fix that by going into our calculation field, and we're going to use the substitution, which we'll create down here. Substitute, our text will be text1, and we're going to, within quotes, create an escaped quote that will find the quote. Then we will take the same thing and we're going to escape that because we're going to produce an escaped quote. So we'll escape the line and then we'll escape the quote, which results in 3 lines and a quote. Then we take that and we copy it paste it over text 1, or we paste it over text 2. And now we find that it works. All right, so we've eliminated the form element, which was our goal. We've put our FileMaker values directly into variables in JavaScript. And we went through and streamlined our JavaScript code, learning a little bit along the way about different parts and pieces, hopefully getting you closer to feeling comfortable about just diving into existing JavaScript code and messing around and figuring out how things work. So you've got like, and you've got subscribe, and then you've got the bell to get notifications when the next installment comes out. And I look forward to seeing you.